So many people think that disputing is nothing other than finding some inaccuracies, hitting a violation, and sending your letter out the door. And after 15 years of doing this, I'm here to tell you that is not how it works. And if you do it that way, you are not going to get the results either for yourself or for your clients. So I'm going to give you a couple of tips. We're not even going to call them secrets because there's no secret to doing this. This is just my professional experience of 1.5 decades of doing the same exact thing over and over and over for thousands of consumers, except for that I get the results. Okay. First things first, I do not put all of my accounts into one letter for a client. Let's say that you have 20 different accounts. We have medical, we have collections, we have charge-offs, we have a couple of inquiries, and maybe a few addresses, right? Let's say we have 20 negative items. We're going to take those 20 negative items, all that whole mix, and we're going to cut it in half. We're going to have 10 on this letter, and we're going to have 10 on this letter. Here's the reason that we're doing this. Not only do we want to fall through the cracks, and hopefully the bureaus, either don't process it correctly or maybe it goes to a human, but we want to make them have more work, get overwhelmed, and you can even do this by sending, if you have the postage, or maybe you're just fixing your own credit. Normally businesses don't do this, but send one account per letter. You have 20 negative items, send out 20 letters. Again, hopefully you fall through the cracks, you go through their system very quickly, and they just don't want to deal with you. They process it, they remove it, and you move on, right? You also have to remember that not only, this is kind of a little bit backwards in thinking, but the bureaus make money every single time they submit a dispute through eOscar, right? Because these creditors have to pay to access eOscar. So yes, they want you to dispute, and no, they don't want you to dispute. So they get paid to report the information. They get paid every single time it goes through eOscar, but they do not get paid if the account is removed. So this is why it's significantly easier to get an account updated, like removing late payments and stuff like that, addresses, whatnot, because the 75% of the time that it gets updated, they're still going to get paid to report it by these lenders, these creditors, right? Because not all of them are lenders. Collectors are obviously not lenders. So you always have to keep this in mind with your wording, that the bureaus have zero incentive to remove these things from your credit report. And this is why we do the things that we do, like splitting your letters up, sending them out on different days. So send Experian out on Monday, send Equifax out on Tuesday, send TransUnion out on Wednesday, etc. Right? If you have 2 letters going out to each bureau, do Monday for Experian, Tuesday for Equifax, just for round 1, Wednesday for TransUnion, and then Thursday Experian, Friday Equifax, Saturday TransUnion. Or mix it up. Do it the way that you feel is best for you. And obviously, if you're sending these out certified, that's a lot of time having to go to the post office. But if you are printing your postage at home, or you are, you live by a post office, or you just have it set up so that it's easy for you to do, then just remember that this will increase your chances of deletion. Another thing, don't put all your eggs in one basket. This is a huge thing that people come to me about. I actually answered comments about this on my YouTube channel today. The question was about late payments. Do I dispute all of the late payments at the same time to remove them, or do I go after them individually? So in this scenario, if you dispute all of the late payments at the same time, you have nothing to say on that next round. So let's say we have 3 late payments, and we're like, I was not late for number 1, I was not late for number 2, and I was not late for number 3. Remove all of them. Now, when it comes back and it's verified, because normally late payments are going to take 4 to 6 rounds if you're doing it the right way. If it comes back and it's verified, now what are you going to say on round 2? You already said, I was not late. To remove late payments, we're going after the fact that we were not late. So you can't say it again. So late payment number 1, I was not late. Come, excuse me, let's back up. Late payment number 1, I was not late. Remove all of these late payments for false reporting, because if one is inaccurate, I have to assume that all of them are, right? This is just me explaining it to you, not the actual dispute reason. So I was not late on X date. Remove all of these late payments for inaccuracy or false reporting. If it comes back as verified, now we can go to late payment number 2. I was not late on X date. Remove all of these for false reporting. Comes back as verified. I was not late on late payment number 3 date. Remove all of these late payments for false reporting. Now, also remember, for late payments, the only way that they can legally verify, pay attention please, the only way that they can legally verify a late payment is to give you copies of the bank's, Capital One's, American Express's, Discover's, Bank of America's confidential financial data, their bank statement, proving when you were or were not late. They're not going to do that. And because they're not going to do that, you can get these things removed, okay? So we'll go and talk about one more thing, because we've already been doing this for 6 minutes and 34 seconds. Goodwill letters. Don't bother. Don't bother. You're not going to get the goodwill, okay? You are also admitting to being late. Now, when you go and you ask the bureaus for proof that you were late, they're going to say you sent a goodwill letter on X date, and that, my friend, is going to be your legal verification. So, having said that, split up your accounts, split up your letters, split up the days. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, and don't use goodwill letters. I will see you next time.